Hello everyone, welcome to the second lab session of Huawei Routing and Switching course. In this lab session, we are going to understand how we perform the basic configuration of a router. So let's begin by understanding the topology. So over here we have the topology, and in the topology there are two routers that we are going to use, and both the routers will be connected to each other through the interface that is going to be 0/0/0, where GE stands for Gigabit Ethernet port 0/0/0. Both the routers will be connected to each other through the network, which is going to be 192.168.1.0. So to this router, that is this, you can say it as router 1, we have the IP address as 192.168.1.1, and to the second router over here we have the IP address as 192.168.1.2. Alright, so let's begin with this lab. And in this lab, we are going to perform a set of questions, that is a total 15 set of configurations that we are going to perform. So let's begin. So the first command, or the first question that we're going to solve, is that we are going to open an eNSP, create a topology by connecting two routers via their gigabit interface. So let's do that. So now this is my eNSP simulator. I need to click on this option, which is new topo. Now over here I'll need to click on routers and pick up the two routers, that is AR1220. Okay, now I need to connect them. So I'll go to connections and select copper. Okay, so here I have the gigabit Ethernet port, and that is the reason why I've chosen this particular router. Okay, so I'll connect it to 0/0/0 interface, go to the second router and also connect it to 0/0/0 interface. Right now, currently both the routers are in the off state, so I need to start them. So in order to start them, I can either individually click on routers and go to start, or I can select both the routers together and click on the start device button. Now once I click on the start device button, it will take some time for the device to begin, and it will also take some more time after that for the command line interface to come up, that is the router to boot up, so that we can go to the main command line interface and start configuring the device. So now I can see that both the routers have started. So I can now go to router 2. So you can see that the device is running, and this hash sign shows me that the device is booting up. Same way, router 1, again the device is booting up. Okay, so the one cool feature that I like about eNSP is that the command line interface for n number of devices can be opened up in a single video, or in a single window, beg your pardon, or it can be opened up in separate windows. Okay, so right now you can see that the command line interface for router 1 and the command line interface for router 2 is in the same window. Okay, so if I click this option, so now I will have them in two different windows. Okay, so again clicking back, it brings me in the same window, wherein I can select which command line interface I need to go to. Okay, now one more thing, whatever commands that we are going to configure over here are the same set of commands that can be used on a switch as well, except for the part where we are going to apply an IP address to the router. As switch is a layer 2 device, we do not apply or we do not configure an IP address on it. Right, so let's begin. I can see that our device has booted up. Okay, yeah, so both the devices AR1 and AR2 has been booted up. So let me just check. Okay, yeah, so here I have it. So point number 1 is done. Point number two is start router 1 and check what is the VRP OS version, device model, and router uptime. Alright, so AR1, I'm in AR1. Right now, I am in the user view. So, in the user view itself, you can check the version. The command for that is display version. Okay, so once I type this command, it gives me some basic information about the router. Okay, so the operating system that this particular router works on is the VRP, which stands for Versatile Routing Platform. Okay, and the version that it has been using is version 5.1.30. The latest version is version 8, and the router name or your the router model is AR1220, and the uptime, as I've just booted up the router, is 0 weeks, 0 days, 0 hours, and 1 minute. Right, so this completes my task number 2. Okay, now the task number 3 is to change the clock, daytime, and time zone. Okay, so I'll first show you the clock. In order to check any configuration, okay, the basic command that you need to know is display. Okay, so I type display clock. Once I enter, it shows me that the time is 1 a.m. and 3 minutes, and the day it is showing me as Sunday because the time zone is China Standard Time Zone. Okay, so I need to update that. All right, so I'll first update the time zone. In order to do that, again, clock, time zone. As I want to change the time zone, I'm going to specify that it is an Indian Standard Time. And I'm going to add 5 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, now I need to update the time, right? So again, clock, date, time. Then I need to mention the time that I want. So right now the time is 10 o'clock 35 minutes in the evening. So I'll specify it as 22:35:00, and I need to specify the year, month, and the date as well. So it's going to be 2020 7/25. Enter. Now the date, the time has been set, the time zone has been set. Now if I want to check it, I'll again use the display command. So it is display clock. Enter. So yes, you can see that the date has been set, the time has been set, the day is correct, and the time zone is also correct as Indian Standard Time. Right, so this completes the third task, that is to change the date, time, and the time zone. The fourth command is I need to write DIS and click on the tab button on my keyboard to check what happens. So I press DIS and I press the tab button which is next to Q or which is before Q, and I see that what is happening is that it is completing the command. Okay, so that is what happens when I press the tab button. All right, so point number 4, the task number 4 is covered. The next is I need to write DIS, then give a space, and then put a question mark. So let's do that. So DIS space question mark. Okay, all right, so what it does is it basically gives me a list of commands that I can use after the word display. Okay, so over here you can see that the list is quite big. It is arranged in an alphabetical manner. okay, then I can press the space bar button if I want to scroll down, okay, or I can also press the enter button to scroll down command by command. Okay, so once I press the enter button, you can see that the commands are loading up one by one, or I can just press the space bar button wherein it will take you down much faster or much quicker. Okay, yeah, so I have it. So now let's just recap how we can set date and time with the help of tab and question mark buttons. Okay, so I'll first use dis, it will complete the command, and then I'll use clo, so it will complete the command. So I have the entire command completed as display clock. It is showing me the clock. Same way I can set up the clock as well. Okay, so clock, okay, then I can give a question mark, so it can give me that what do you want to do. Do you want to specify time and date, do you want to configure the daylight saving time, or do you want to change your time zone? So I'll say I want to specify the date and time, so the command for that is date and time, so that I will use over here clock date time, then again space question mark, then it says that I need to specify the time in this particular format, which is hours, minutes and seconds, so that I'll do it 22, all right, 22 39 00. Again I'll give a question mark. So now it says that I need to specify the year, month and the date, so I'll do that 2020 725. Let me check, is there anything more which is left to be configured or which is left to be put in this particular command? Again a question mark, so it says no. Now you just need to press enter to execute the command. Alright, so now the date time has been set. So again dis tab clo tab enter, so it will complete the command and I do not need to type the entire command again. So with the help of tab button you don't need to type the entire command again and again, and with the help of help button or the question mark key, okay, if in case if you're not able to remember which command you need to configure, that key is very helpful at that particular time. Okay, so that is done. Now we go to task number 6. In task number 6, you can see that we have to change the router name to R1. Okay, so we are in router 1. Now, in order to change or in order to configure something, now we need to go to the system view. Okay, so I'll type the command sys and press the tab key. It will complete the command for me and press enter. Now I need to update the name of the router. Right now the name of the router is Huawei, so I'll update from Huawei to sysname J. Okay, so now we can see that the system name has been updated from Huawei to J. So that is task number 6 is completed. Number 7 is I need to add a welcome note or a welcome information, okay, or a login information. So that can be a warning message or it can be a welcome note that you would like to be seen by the person who is trying to access the router. Okay, so for that I need to use the command that is header. Okay, then I'll give a question mark, so it will tell me what do you want to do next. So I'll use shell because I want to specify the start banner. Okay, so shell space question mark, what do I want to do? So again I want to specify the information of the banner, so I need to use the command information. Okay, question mark. Next it is giving me to enter text. Okay, which means that now I need to enter whatever the welcome note or the warning message that I want. So over here in inverted commas I will just specify the welcome note as welcome to Huawei Lab, and again I will close the banner with the inverted comma sign, press enter. So now the banner has been set. In order to view this banner, again I need to go back from the system view to the user view. So I need to use the command quit. From the user view I need to again come out. I'll use the command quit again. So now I have completely logged out of the router. Once I press enter, you can see over here my welcome node or the welcome banner is being displayed. Okay, so that covers our task number 6 and 7. Okay, let me just mark it. Okay, next is I need to set up a password. Now, why do I need a password? So this is a router or a switch can be accessed through a console port. Okay, so and any unauthorized person can access the router through the console port. So to avoid any unauthorized person from getting into the router, we need to set up a password. So for that, again, I need to go to the system view and I need to use the command which is a user interface, as I'm going to configure the password for console. So it's going to be console 0 authentication hyphen mode. I need password. So now it will ask me to, okay, all right, let me just check. Authentication mode password. All right, yeah. Now I just need to enter the password. The password cannot be greater than 16 characters or 16 length. So I'll use the password as Huawei. Okay. The next that I can do is I can set up an ideal timeout, which means that if I'm not using the command line interface after a set amount of time, it will just log me out of the device. So for that, the command is idle timeout. Okay, then I need to specify the minutes and the seconds. So for now, I'll just use it as 00 minutes and 10 second, or that is 10 seconds. Press enter. We'll wait for 10 seconds. All right, so here we can see that the system has logged me out. I need, when I press enter, it is now asking me for the password. So I'll specify the password and it logs me in. Now I have welcome to Huawei Lab. Again, I will just update the time so that it does not log me out again and again. So again, I need to go to user interface console 0 idle time out. I can specify it as 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So yeah, so now it won't log me out after every 10 seconds. So yes, point number 8 is done. Next is put IP address on both the interfaces. Okay, so now I need to come out of this view. So now I'm in the system view now. I will now first show you all the interfaces that are available on this particular router, and also whether or not there are any IP addresses that are being configured. So for that, the command is display IP interface brief. So here you can see that there are 2 gigabit Ethernet ports. Okay, so there is no IP address assigned to it, but physically it shows me that 0/0/0 is up. Why is that? Because I've connected a physical, or I've connected a cable to it. Okay, now I can assign the IP address. So interface, again, it's a gigabit port. So gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0, IP address 192.168.1.1, the subnet mask to be 24, and enter. So the IP address has been assigned and it has entered the upstate. Again, I can check that, quit, and I can use the command, that is display IP interface brief. So here you can see that gigabit Ethernet port 0/0/0 has been assigned an IP address 192.168.1.1 with a subnet mask of 24. Alright, so now I'll go to the second router. In the second router, again, system view, enter. Now interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0, IP address 192.168.1.2 space 24, and enter. So yes, it has entered the upstate. I can check it again, display IP interface brief. Okay, yeah, so I can see that on router 2, that is AR2, the IP address has been set to 192.168.1.2 and it is up. Okay, so we have completed task number 9 as well. Check if both the interfaces are up and running and ping from R1 to R2. Okay, so let's do that. So we go to ping 192.168.1.2, and yes, I can see that I have transmitted 5 packets, I have received 5 packets, 0% loss. So yes, I was successfully able to ping from router 1 to router 2. So my next task is to check what are the available files on the flash of router 1. So I again go back to my router 1 and I'll go to the user view and I use the command directory, that is dir. Alright, so yes, here I have it. So in the flash drive, the files that we have right now are basically, there are 4 files, which is dhcp, portalpage.zip, statematch.efs, and sslvpn.zip. So these are the 4 files that are available on the flash. So that is done. We have checked the files that are available on the flash. Now check if the next task is to check if we have any saved configuration. If not, save your current configuration and save it to flash. Okay, so first task is to check whether we have any configurations that we have saved. So I'll press the command display saved configuration. Okay, so right now it shows that there are no correct configuration files in the flash drive, so which means that whatever we have configured till now has not yet been saved. But I can check whatever I have configured by using the command display current configuration. Okay, all right, so here it shows me all the configurations that I have done. So starting from, we have the time zone, we had changed the time zone, we had updated the name, we had updated the banner. Then once I click more, so yes, it shows me we have updated the IP address on the gigabit internet 0/0/0. We have also applied the password for any user to log in through the console port. Alright, so there we have it. Okay, yes. So that was our current configuration. Now we have not saved any configuration, so we need to save it. So in order to save it, again, you should be in the user view, and the command is simple save, and it will ask you the current configuration will be written to the device. So are you sure to continue? Type Y, press enter, and it will save the configuration. Okay, so the configuration file has been saved successfully. So now even if the router is restarted, all these files will still be there. All these configurations will still be there in the router. Okay, so point number 12 is completed. Let me tick mark it. Now check now the configuration of your saved configuration. Okay, so in order to check that, I'll use the command display startup. Okay, so this will tell me all the commands that will be saved. So here you have the file that has been saved. Okay, so this file has been saved in your flash memory. So I'll again use the command directory dir. Okay, so if you remember, there were only 4 files that were saved when we used the directory command before. Let me show it to you. Okay, so before, when I had use, yeah, the directory command. Okay, here I go. Yeah, so before, when I had used the directory command, yeah, so there were only 4 files that were present. Okay, but now after I have saved the configuration, okay, on the flash drive, so these are the 2 new files that have been saved. So this has all the configuration of it. All right, so that is what is going to be booted. So check now the configuration of your saved file. So it has been saved. Check from the flash which saved configuration will start up on the next boot up. Okay, so to do that, okay, this is the file that has been saved. So again, I'll use the command display startup. Okay, all right, so here I can see that this was the file which I have saved, and startup save configuration. The next startup, in the next startup, the same file is going to be used to update all the configurations on the router. Okay, so 14 is also done. The next is delete the saved configuration and restart the router. All right, so the next task is whatever configuration that we have done till now, that we have saved, okay, we have to delete it. Okay, and we have to reboot the router. Okay, so we'll use the command delete, right, question mark. Okay, now what do you want to delete? So from here we have different options. Okay, so from these options I would just like to tell you that the unreserved is if I type unreserved, delete unreserved, and then the file name, okay, that file will be permanently deleted. Okay, if I use the command delete flash, then that file will be deleted and move to the recycle bin. Okay, so right now I'm just using delete flash. Okay, hyphen, again a question mark. Okay, now press enter. So that's it, we have to press enter to execute the command. Okay, so I need to specify the file name first. Okay, so over here the file name is VRP dot zip. Okay, right. Okay, so it's asking me whether I want to delete the saved configuration file, so I type yes. So deleting flash file, so that was successful. So again I'll go to directory. Okay, and yeah, so here you can see that particular file has been taken care of. Okay, so we don't have that configuration with us, so that file has been deleted. All right, so yes, the next step is to restart the router, and the command for that is reboot. Enter. So when I reboot, okay, it is giving me an option that all the configuration that I have done right now will be saved to the next startup configuration. So I'll type no, I don't want to save anything. Okay, enter. So the system will reboot. Yes, so the system is rebooting, please wait. Now it should give me a message that the system will reboot. Okay, so yeah, so now it has started to reboot. You can see over here. Okay, so that is done as well. So with this we complete this particular lab. Thank you so much for listening. uh, See you in the next class.